Mother's Day right around the corner, we're all searching for those unique and special gift ideas that we can shower our mom and mom figures with our love and show them our affection. And you definitely can do that while still staying on a budget. And hello, my name is Shannon, the Daily DIYer. I want to go ahead and jump right into our projects today and show you some high-end looking gift ideas without the expensive price tag. This first project is a keychain, which I may actually keep for myself. It turned out so cute. You're gonna need some needles, which is optional. I also have some pearl beads from Dollar Tree, a pair of scissors. Obviously, you will definitely need a key ring, and I'm also using some embroidery floss for this. I just cut a couple lengths of the embroidery floss first before attaching it onto my keychain. I added 3 beads to mine, but of course you can add as many as you would like. I'm also going to be making a tassel for the bottom of this. I plan to do a full detail tutorial on creating tassels, so please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that tutorial. That is very, very soon to come. But basically you just wrap your string around something hard many times before pulling it off and then wrapping the top so that it stays together, and then you will cut the bottom so you have that nice frayed end, and then you tie it onto the extra string you had hanging off of your keychain. Such a pretty gift idea. Next is a custom clipboard gift idea, which would be really cute if you paired it with the keychain from the first project. You're going to need some 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, Mod Podge, a foam paintbrush, scissors, and also optional would be your paper trimmer and of course your clipboard, which is just from the Dollar Tree. You want to start by tracing your clipboard onto your paper and then cutting it out. Make sure to cut your paper just a little bit smaller than the actual line that you draw. We want a little bit of a space around the edges of the front of the clipboard to make sure our glue will hold it down. Sure to cut the top to size around that clip, and then you're going to take your Mod Podge, and I did this in 2 steps. So I did half of the clipboard bottom first, and then I added Mod Podge to the top of the clipboard. That way I can make sure I smoothed out all of the bubbles as I went along. Once you have the bottom on, you can smear more of the Mod Podge on top, and that seals your paper to the front of the clipboard. What I really love about Dollar Tree is they also have a really nice stationery section. So you could find a beautiful notebook, a notepad, and some pens and pair this together and have a really beautiful gift set. Also, this is probably one of my most favorite DIY techniques. I've done this for a long time, but for Mother's Day, it'd be so beautiful to make this mercury glass vase. I'm using Looking Glass by Krylon spray paint and just giving it about, I want to say I did about 3 coats. I think it suggests that you do 5 coats, but it's really quick to do because it only takes a minute in between coats. Once you have the coats on the vase, you just spray it with a mixture of 50% water and 50% vinegar. You can see here the little droplets. That is the vinegar that is going to sit on there and allow us to take off some of that spray paint. So I'm just taking a paper towel and dabbing it on the vase to remove some of the spray paint. Oh my gosh, so see, this is why I love it so much. It has such an aged and antique and vintage type look. You can see from the inside through the glass, and basically that's what it does. It just gives you that kind of rustic and aged look. You can use this vase for fake flowers or real flowers. That's why I did the finish on the outside of the vase instead of on the inside. So if you wanted to put water in there, you definitely could, but I just love this. I could put this on anything glass and it would just make it beautiful instantly. Now this one is pretty simple and also very sentimental. So I'm basically using something that Dollar Tree already carries, which is a shadow box, and it says do all things with great love. I also have my drill and a 1/2 inch size large drill bit. I have some paper and a Sharpie marker. I just took apart the shadow box. You want to make sure you take the glass out, as well as all the inside pieces, because we're going to be drilling a hole into the top of that frame. So I have a piece of scrap wood laid down first so I don't drill through my countertop, which has kind of happened before. And I just drilled 3 holes and used some wire cutters to kind of clean it up. And I also used a little bit of sandpaper to make sure the opening was smooth. And then I just put it all back together, and see this plastic piece, I cut the top off so that you could still get things through that hole in the opening before putting the back onto the back. And then I took a Sharpie and just wrote moms at the top. So it says, moms do all things with great love. This is a little chintzy, so if you have a vinyl machine, it would probably be prettier to do a vinyl decal, but if you don't have a vinyl machine, a Sharpie works just fine. Next, I used just a piece of computer paper and cut some heart shapes out and wrote some little sentiments. My daughter at one time gave me a gift like this and just wrote things she loved about me on little pieces of paper, and it is still sitting on my dresser. It's just one of those gifts that I forever will love. It doesn't matter how beautiful it is, it's all those sentiments that really make a difference and show your love. Now we're going to make something a little bit more glam and blingy. I have a glass dish from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using the Looking Glass spray paint again. I'm going to be using mine as a candle holder. And then I also have this rhinestone trim. I'm taking this back outside and spray painting it with the Looking Glass. I did 5 coats. Looking back, I wish I would have put the spray paint on the inside because it would have made it a little bit more like glass versus just shiny silver. But it still looks really, really pretty. And I just took some of that trim and hot glued it around the bottom of the dish. Now, what I love about this piece is you could turn it into a makeup brush holder. You could turn it into a vanity piece. You could turn it into a little vase. So there's lots of different options for this. I just added a Dollar Tree candle in there that fit perfectly. So it'd be pretty on a desk or like I have on a tray here next to my mercury glass vase. So just a little pretty piece that's really inexpensive, but turned out really cute too. This would be super cute in an entryway or next to a vanity or in a bathroom. We're gonna make a little jewelry holder, a mirrored piece. So I have a burner cover from Dollar Tree. We're gonna Mod Podge this piece again. I have my hot glue and also one of Dollar Tree's round mirrors. So I started by tracing my burner cover onto the back of my scrapbook paper and cut it out and cut it down to size. I did have to cut off some more just to make it smaller so it would fit on the inside of that burner cover, and then I Mod Podged it into place. So I think the theme of this tutorial is basically if you have spray paint and you have Mod Podge, you can pretty much make anything. You can make anything beautiful. I'd love to hear if these are supplies you usually keep on hand too, because I definitely do. I have a whole giant stash of spray paint and tubs of Mod Podge that I always keep because you just never know. They could come in handy, and these are definitely projects that you need them for. Once I had my mirror glued down, I used these little mini tabs that are kind of command style hooks from Dollar Tree, but I didn't want the arrows on those hooks showing. So I just took my scissors and cut those off before ripping off the paper backing and then applying them to the bottom of the burner cover. I only had 4 on hand, but I think you could probably fit a couple more at least on here, and that way you would have more room to hang jewelry from, whether it's necklaces or bracelets. And then I thought kind of after the fact, you could add a little strip of fabric to the front underneath your mirror and kind of make a pocket in the front so you could put bracelets in there, you could put lipstick or chapstick in the front there too. It'd be kind of a cute little spot to hang things that you can conveniently grab. As you're walking out the door, just need a quick look in the mirror and then needed to grab something to throw on. So that was just kind of my idea behind this project. You can see here I added those 4 to the bottom. Really, really simple. I added a little hook to the back and then a command hook to the wall to hang it. Now, keeping along the lines of jewelry, this is a converted dish from Dollar Tree, a little jewelry holder. It says, "Make your dreams happen" on the front, which is cute. But if you want something a little more high-end looking, I use this Rust-Oleum Brilliant Gold spray paint and just gave it a couple coats. Simple as that. You could even add a monogram to the bottom, but really your jewelry is going to cover it up anyway, and it's going to be used quite a bit. So I thought just this simple, basic gold dish was just beautiful, and I think any mom would appreciate it as a gift. Next are some personalized coasters. I have some candid photos of me with my little ones that I just printed out on regular printer paper in black and white. I have my trusty Mod Podge again, and some coasters that are from Dollar Tree. I love these coasters because they're also really nice coasters. They already have cork on the back, so you can just add your Mod Podge to them, put your photo on top, and then Mod Podge over the top to seal them in. And then once those were dry, just added some paint around the edges to kind of cover up where the coasters were showing through. And it's just a really cute little accessory for your side tables or your coffee table in your living room. Now this next project would be perfect for a mama who loves to cook and bake. I have a Dollar Tree cutting board, some wooden Jenga pieces, my hot glue gun, a decal, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, and you'll also need 2 mini clothespins that are from Dollar Tree too. So the decals I have in my Etsy shop. This is from another project, but the great thing about the decals is you can actually cut them apart like I'm showing you here, so you can make them fit to work with whatever project you are personalizing. And so I'm just adding these to the top of the cutting board. And then I also hot glued on the clothespins onto the sides. So you can put a recipe or a photo on there. And then next I started building my wood base so that it would sit up. I'm going to be using the Jenga pieces for this. I basically made sort of like an L shape, and then I also added some to the back to kind of give it more support. And you'll see here as I build it how it all kind of comes together, and then I'll give you some close-up looks of the finished stand so that you can see more in detail how you can create your own. So here's that close-up look. You can kind of see that L shape with the extra bumper pieces in the back. And I just used hot glue to piece it all together, and the cutting board slips right into it really nicely, fits perfectly. The great thing is you just see that those front 2 Jenga pieces. You don't necessarily see the back pieces, which are the support. These would be pretty if you painted them or if you stained them too. But here's just a look at what it would look like with a recipe attached to the front. And then who doesn't love a beautifully framed photo? So I'm going to be using a frame from Dollar Tree, scissors. I have my pearl beads out again, my hot glue, and then the unique item I'm going to be using is this throwaway cookie sheet from Dollar Tree. I traced 2 flowers, one smaller than the next, so I could layer them. I also kind of moved them around a little bit so they would have some texture and not be flat. And I just hot glued them on top of each other, adding one of those pearl beads to the center.
So here's a look at the frame all put together. It's such a pretty look. You could use regular silver spray paint for this. You don't necessarily get that mirrored look with the more expensive mirrored glass spray paint, so that's just kind of a money saving tip. But it'd be pretty in gold as well, and you could even spray paint your flowers to match. I think all moms would agree that it's not the amount of money that you put into a gift, but the amount of love that you put into them. And all of these projects definitely fit the bill. I hope you will subscribe for weekly DIYs and budget home decor, and I'll have more DIY tutorials that you'll want to check out linked on the screen right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.